And good evening, everyone. Welcome to another exciting Saturday Night Winestream and another exciting episode of Drink with Rick. I'm Rick, as always, and tonight we're going to try a wine from France. And this is a red blend from France. Now, this is a little bit of a mysterious wine for me because I really couldn't find much of anything on it. I found a couple of videos somewhere for reviews and things, but nothing specific too much on a line. And so I really have no idea what to expect from this wine. We're going to find out tonight. Hopefully it'll be good. I don't know. I have no idea. But we are going to try it and we're going to find out. Also, we're going to toast some national days. We're going to pair the wine with some food, of course, and I have the food right here. We're also going to toast some national days, and we have some very interesting national days to toast, and a couple of fun ones, I think. I think you'll enjoy toasting with me if you like the national days or what they represent or what they're supposed to commemorate. I think it'll be fun. Also, we're going to talk about a very interesting topic that I've been looking at lately, and I think it's going to be kind of an important one moving forward in terms of streaming, live streaming, content consumption in general online, and also physical media. I think that's going to be an interesting topic to cover overall. So please join in the chats, join with me, and I want to know what you think of it. I really want your opinion on it because I have some definite opinions on it, but I want to know what you think, where you stand on that. So be interesting to see where this discussion goes tonight. If you're joining me for the first time or for the 246th time, because this is the 246th episode of Drink with Rick on the Saturday Night Wine Stream, I do have my show notes, and they're right here. It's not. These are the show notes from the last episode, July 4th. Here they are. My show notes, right here. They're right there. I do have my show notes, such as they are, but we don't follow them verbatim. We go way off the beaten path sometimes because, the show isn't about me. I'm here to entertain you. I'm here to provide some entertainment and to provide the wine and get the discussion going, keep things moving along. The show's not about me. The show is a little bit about the wine, somewhat about the national days, but the show is really about you and me getting together on a Saturday night, just relaxing with our favorite libations, whatever they are, our favorite foods and snacks, whatever they are. It's okay to eat in front of me. It's fine. In fact, I encourage it to eat and drink and be merry right here while you're watching me. That's fine. You can get the chats. You can watch passively, and if you're listening to the podcast later, you can listen passively. That's all fine. It's all good as long as we're together. We're doing it together, and we're just having a good time. Now, if you want to join in on the chats, we are live. Our Facebook page, let me go right here to our live, right here. Usually I have it already. Here it is. We are live on our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/drinkwithrick. Kick. We're on Kick. And to be honest, I'm not sure how much longer. I think in a few episodes we're going to be moving. If things don't pick up with Kick, we're going to be kicking Kick off. For a while anyway, and that is by it was by your suggestions actually. So I'm hanging on for a few more episodes, and then if nothing else happens with it, it doesn't pick up after a while, then we're just going to move off of that. Odyssey, we are on Odyssey at Drink with Rick, and the number 7. Rumble, just type in Drink with Rick in the search bar and you'll come up with it. We're on Rumble Live. Twitch, of course, is twitch.tv/drinkwithrick and the number 1, all one word. And, of course, we are on YouTube, youtube.com at Drink with Rick. Also, you can watch on the website. We are live on the website. Let me check. Let me make sure that, you know what? Let me make sure that that's going on, because sometimes I forget to publish it. It's in draft mode, but sometimes I forget to publish it. So let's see if it's published on here. Let me refresh this page. There we go. All right, we're there. We're there. We're on drinkwithrick.com on the website, and if you click on the post for tonight's episode, you just click on it like this, and you will get a comment box down below, and leave a comment, and I will respond in kind. It won't be right away. It'll be after the show, but you can do that. Also, you can subscribe to the podcast. If you can't watch now and you can't watch later, you can't get in the chats now, just go ahead and listen to the podcast. Podcast goes out Monday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern, and we are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Blueberry.com, iHeartRadio, PodcastIndex.org, TuneIn, Deezer Radio, and, of course, via RSS, because this is a podcast, and by email. Now, if you click on this button that says by email, for those who can see it right now, you'll get another page. You'll get a subscribe by email page. Put in your email address in the little box. Click the blue subscribe button, and I will send you. You will get the latest episode of Drink with Rick as soon as it drops, and no salesman will call. It won't get any spam from this. If you do, let me know, because it should not be happening. But that's just for the podcast. Okay. Anyway, so that's what we've got going on there. Now, also, if you get in the chats right now, please, we don't talk about politics. We don't talk about religion on the show. We talk about things that bring people together. And things have been so volatile lately out there. That's what this is. This is a safe haven. This is a safe space, for lack of a better term at the moment, for everyone to get together and just hang out and just having a good time. Meeting with old friends, meeting new friends, and just forgetting about the worries of the day. That's what this show is about. All right, so also, if you want to, you can buy me a coffee if you want. I almost forgot about that. You can buy me a coffee, or 2 or 3 or 5 or whatever. It's not mandatory at all, but that does help to support the show. If you can do that, you can do that. And it's the buttons on the right-hand side there on the page. Subscribe to podcast. It's all on all the pages, actually, so you can do that if you like. And you can like and subscribe and ring the bell and follow and do all that stuff on all of the venues here. So here, let me pop back over to that other page there where everything is. There we go. You can like and subscribe and follow and all that stuff, but there's no hard and fast rule about doing that with me. But if you want, please, it's much, much appreciated. Thank you very, very much for those who have done that and those who continue to do that. Thank you very much. All right. With that out of the way, let's get to the chats first, and then we will get into the wine, get that opened up. Let's check on Facebook. Facebook, it looks like, MD Rumman is in the chat. MD Rumman, and MD Rumman is spamming me in the chat. How about that? First, right off the bat, we got a spammer in the chat. He wants me to. He's telling me he's a digital marketing expert. How about that? And as if I really need one. By the way, MD, I am also a digital marketing expert. I've been doing it for many, many years. How long have you been doing it? How many months or years have you been doing it? Because I've been doing it for a long, long time. So I think I know where I know how it works. So I'm good. Okay, I'm good. All right. Yes, I do call out the spammers. I do. That's a difference here. That's what makes the show so much more entertaining. I directly call out all of the spammers, especially the ones that drop into the chat and say, I am professional podcast promoter. I will promote your podcast on iTunes, which, of course, there is no more iTunes there. It's Apple Podcasts. I should tell you something right there. All right, so anyway, enough of the attention for the spammers and the scammers and all that sort of thing on the chats. Let me check the rest of the chats. Nothing going. Oh, okay, we're good on YouTube. We're good on Twitch. And those of you watching on Twitch, jump in and say hi. Tell me how you're doing, and tell me what you're drinking or not drinking, or what you'd like to be drinking, or what you would like to see me drinking. If I can afford a bottle of it, I'll see if I can get a bottle and try it out and give it a fair and an honest review as well. Kick, we're Kick is such as it is. We're getting ready to move to X. I'm just not there yet. But we'll get over there eventually. And that was actually by your suggestion, is to stream on X. Now I have to pay an extra $8 a month to do that. Thank you very much, Elon. So that's what I have to do. I used to stream when it was Twitter, I used to stream on Twitter, and I actually got very little to no response or interaction there, and then and that was when I was streaming for free. So I'm taking a kind of a chance, plunking down $8 a month to give X a try again. So we'll see. Anyway, looks like we're good just about everywhere else. And okay, and let's go ahead and get to the wine tasting. So this is what we're drinking tonight. Tonight we're drinking NDP. It's called NDP, and this is a wine from France. This is a French red blend. Yes, it is a red blend from France. And it says since, as you can see there, for those of you who can see it, since 1163. That's a very long time. That's, what is that, about 1,000 years? We're talking about a millennia. Since 1163, it is a product of France. So they've been making wine a long, long time, apparently, allegedly. Here's the back of the wine. I'm going to read the back of the wine for you. For those who can't see it, especially, this says NDP Red Blend since 1163. I'm kidding you not. I don't think it's a typo because they had it on the back label too. It's a product of France. It says, oh, well, there's the backstory. Built in 1163 in Paris, France, Notre Dame de Paris Cathedral is one of the world's major historical monuments. After facing many damages throughout the centuries, and most particularly a devastating fire in April 2019, the cathedral remains more than ever alive. This NDP Cuvée is a tribute to this exceptional monument and its history. Okay, so apparently they've not been bottling or making wine since 1163. It's just, this is just to notate the Notre Dame de Paris in France, the cathedral itself. So there you go. It says, this red blend offers an intensive fruit and lots of smoothness and richness to the palate. Well, that sounds good. Just as Notre Dame de Paris, this cuvée is a blend of traditional style and typical character. The typical character? It's imported by Latitude Wines in Danville, California, bottled for BBC in France. It does contain sulfites, as most all wines do. I'm reading the whole thing, basically, except the government warning. We know what that says. Red wines, product of France, and there is 13.5% ABV in this 750 milliliter bottle. And this is a 2021 vintage. So that is what we have going on there. That's the wine. So this, let me show you what we have to pair it with. I'm mixing my words up here a little bit. There we go. This is what we're pairing it with tonight. Not a whole lot. We have a couple of cheeses and we have beef ribs. That's just little chunks of beef rib there and a couple of cheeses. So that's we're going to kind of keep it light tonight. As you can probably tell, we are having a light show tonight. A light show. I didn't turn on the lights today. I'll do it later, maybe. I didn't make them flash. They're just sitting back there doing their thing. Okay, so let me check the chats one more time, and we'll get to opening this bottle of wine. And spammers, all over the place. Algorithm is in the chat. Algorithm, and he's no. Let me tell you something. Algorithm is no spammer. Algorithm is for real. Algorithm says, "Hi, Rick." Algorithm says, "Dad joke." Oh, right. Well, let's get a dad joke together here. We'll start off with a dad joke tonight. Algorithm says, "Dad joke. How does a penguin build its house? It glues it together." Very good. I like that. It glues it together. It glues it together. I gotta borrow that one from you. So how are you doing, Algorithm? It's great to see you, by the way. Hope you're doing well. And we're going to have a little discussion here. I don't know if you're into the physical media, the legacy physical media as we know it, CDs, DVDs, cassettes, vinyl albums. I'm a fan of those. My son is as well. But we're going to have a little discussion about that, and I want to know what you think about it. Algorithm says, "I got a little flu." I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I hope you're feeling much better. I hope you're feeling a lot better right away. That's not good to have. So Algorithm says, "I won't stay late." Well, I understand. You have to get your rest. It's fine. But I'm glad you stopped in, and I hope you feel much better, my friend, very, very quickly. We've had a few folks here that have been a little under the weather lately, so I know it's the summer. You get the flu in the summer. You get the flu anytime. It just goes around, All right, so let's go ahead and get this wine opened. And we're not planning to stay late anyway, Algorithm, because I can't really stay up late either. My lovely wife, she said no. I have to go to bed at a decent hour tonight, so we're going to try to keep this to a little to an hour or so tonight, because I did the special on July 4th. If you haven't seen it or heard it, go back and listen to it. By the way, the podcast version of it goes out tomorrow night of the July 4th special. And we had fun on July 4th. We did. All right, where is my decorker. I have to get out the decorker. All right, we have the foil cut on this thing. Let's go ahead and decork the wine. All right, it's decorked. And, wow, that was a pretty heavy thud. All right, let's get the aerator in here. And I'll put this nice clean aerator. Make sure it's in there. No displacement that I can tell. And let's get onto a close-up shot here. There we go. And to hold the glass, I have my genuine Drink with Rick coaster here. And to hold the grape nectar, I have my genuine Galway Irish crystal glass given to me by my employers at buy2wayradios.com. And we will proceed to pour a little bit of wine in the glass, which we are doing. All right, so the wine is in the glass, and you know what time it is. First thing we have to do with this is give it a good swirl, and to accompany the swirl, we have our official Drink with Rick swirling music, more cowbell. Yeah. More cowbell. All right. Got it. We have the wine swirled. We're going to set it aside for just a moment and let it breathe. Now, I did not find a lot of information online on this particular wine. but I will tell you where I picked it up. I did pick it up at Trader Joe's. Yes, I did pick this wine up at Trader Joe's. I can tell you what I paid for it as well in just a moment. But this wine caught my eye because it was kind of I've seen it around Trader Joe's a few times, and I kept resisting the urge to purchase it because I was thinking, I don't know. But, the other day I was thinking, well, I've got to plan my wines for July, and this was, I needed one for this week, and I was looking around. I said, the price is right. Why not? So I purchased it, and I have the receipt here, by the way. And once again, I checked around online. There wasn't a whole lot on it. I didn't see anything of a vino on it. I didn't see anything. I didn't see much on the Wine Searcher. I think Wine Searcher had something on it, but not much. And the pricing on some of the other websites where I go to price wines out, I didn't see it listed at all. So nothing really came up for me. So there wasn't. I saw there were a couple of short videos, video reviews on it, but nothing really to tell me what was in this wine, because this is once again, we're looking at this. This is a red blend from France, and it's a red blend, but it doesn't say on the bottle what the blend is. It's a very mysterious. So you look in the back. It's a very mysterious red blend. I have no idea what grapes are in this wine. I really, really have no idea. So, it's anyone's guess. But I will tell you what I paid for it, because I have the receipt here in my hand. What I paid for the 750 milliliter bottle of not Trader Joe's, but it's Trader Joe's receipt. The 750 milliliter bottle of this NDP Red Blend, I paid, wait a minute, we need a drum roll. I paid $6.99. $6.99 is what I paid for this. So that was why I felt it was worth taking a chance on, because for $6.99, I was saying, okay, how bad could it be? Well, I don't know. It could be pretty bad. I've made that mistake before too. But look, $6.99, it was worth the risk. And who knows? It might turn out to be very good. I have no idea. So we're going to give it a try right now. So let's give it a little bit of a whiff. Let me get a close up here. There we go. A little bit of a whiff. Now I'm getting some strawberry on the nose and a little bit of cherry. Strawberry and cherry is what I'm mostly getting. All right, let's give it a little bit of a taste, huh? Very interesting mix of fruits. Several fruits. Strawberry and cherry on the tongue. But actually, I'm kind of surprised, because this, I know that from the lights here, this looks a lot bolder than it is. But it's not really that bold looking of a wine. It's not very dense. It's kind of a medium, has sort of a medium density to this wine. A little closer, a bolder look, but more still the medium density. But it doesn't taste like that at all. In fact, that's kind of interesting. Strawberry, cherry, and a little hint of plum. But what surprises me is that I expected there to be quite a bit of tannin in this wine. Surprisingly, there are some tannins here, but they're surprisingly light. Very light tannins. Very light tannins. And it's actually a light wine. It's not a bold tasting wine at all. I would say it's a medium to light as far as how it tastes. And what's interesting is that it does have some legs. If I look at it, it does have some legs, but they're not that heavy. They're not that thick. And it does have kind of a bit of a nice finish to it. It's a little lingering finish, but it goes down fairly smooth. Oh. Yeah, this is a very light drinking wine. Very easy drinking wine. I'm actually surprised. I thought it was going to be bolder. I thought it might be bolder than it is. In fact, when I was shopping around at Trader Joe's for it, and I saw this, and I thought, well, this kind of looks like it would be a bold wine, but it's not. It's fairly mild. Fairly mild. It's kind of and then the tannins are kind of light, which I really didn't expect. Interesting. And it's dry. It's not a sweet wine or anything. It's fairly dry, on the dry side, but it's not real tannic. So this is interesting. This should be interesting to see how it pairs with the cheeses in particular. We'll try it with the meat first, with the rib meat, as beef rib. But I'm looking forward to trying it with the cheese to see how it fares with the cheese. Now, I don't know if I picked the right cheeses for this, to be honest. This looks like it might go pretty good with a mild cheddar, but I've got a Colby Jack over there, and it's on camera 3. It might work pretty well with that. So I don't know what happened with my audio here. I hit something with the audio. Hold on just a moment. I hit something with the audio. I don't know where it's coming from. Hold on. There we go. It's coming from YouTube. I accidentally hit a button. All right. Well, I can edit that. I was hoping I could get through a show without doing any edits, but apparently that's not that's not going to be the case. So anyway, I'm looking forward to trying it with this. So let's go ahead and try it now. It is dry. It's just not real tannic. That's interesting. Okay, so let me check the chats here first before we get to the rest of the show. And everything's quiet in the chats for tonight, except Algorithm is here. Algorithm says, looks like the view of a church roof on the wine bottle. Does it really? Well, yeah, actually it does. It does. So if you go look at the front photo, the roof, the ceiling, I guess you could say, the ceiling of a church. Well, that's because it is, I believe that would be because it is the Notre Dame de Paris. That's the cathedral. So that's what this wine is about. It's what it's based on. So I would assume that's part of it. But there's good eye on that algorithm, because I did not make that connection when I've been staring at this bottle. I did not make the connection at all. But now that you mention it, yeah, it does very much look like that. So that's good. There's good eye there. So let me see what else we got in the chats going on here, and it's quiet everywhere else. So let's go ahead and pair this wine with some food. So this is, once again, this is what we have to pair it with. And we're going to try it with the steak first. This is the rib meat, and we're going to give this a little bit of a taste. And it's cold. They're you know how it works here. Yeah, it's what we had for dinner. So it's good. It's still good. It's cold. Yes, they're leftovers. Do I need to say that? Oh, yeah, like that. Now, because of the lack of so many tannins, because it does not have very many, it's not very tannic, it's light on that side, normally for something like a rib that my lovely wife, she grilled tonight, I think it needs a wine that's a little more on the tannic side for that. I really do. This, I think, is a little mild for that kind of meat. I think this would go fine with a burger. It would go fine with some other meats. But as far as the, if it was something like beef ribs or pork ribs or something like that, it might go okay with that. I don't know. I don't really eat pork, but the beef ribs or a steak or something, this might not be, I might not be bold enough for that, I think. But that's just my palate. You might think differently about that. But let's go ahead and clear the palate. And let's go back to camera 3 and try it with some cheese. So we're going to try it with the Colby Jack first. Let me take this, several slices stuck together. I don't think I need them all, do I? I don't think I need them all. I don't know if I can take them apart. I'm going to take them apart. Here, let me do that. Let's take them apart. I only need half this thing. Okay. Tearing this cheese apart. All right. I just don't want too much in my mouth at once. I need a little more wine in here, though. All right. And by the way, this Colby's good. That mixes pretty well. This pairs pretty well with the cheese. I think this is a pretty decent cheese wine. Yeah. I like that. Well, let's clear the palate one more time. And then let's go back to camera 3. And let's try it with the Parmesan. Now, the Parmesan, interesting. This might work with the Parmesan. Let's find out. Let's go back to camera 2. All right. Now, Parmesan is a very hard cheese. And it's fairly sharp. So actually, that works nicely with the Parmesan. Tannic or not, it works nicely with the Parmesan. And I think because it's kind of a smooth wine, I think this would work well with Parmesan or some pasta or some macaroni. You don't know where I'm going with that yet. It's okay. You'll find out in a few minutes. And maybe sooner than that, because I think it's almost time to toast the national days, right? I don't need to clear the palate again. Let's just go ahead and drink the wine, right? All right, so so far I'm liking the wine. It's pretty nice. I'm surprised at just how mild this wine is. Wasn't expecting that. So yeah, we'll continue to drink it and toast with it, and we'll see how it fares with the toasting, right? All right. Well, if everyone's ready, I'm checking the chats one more time. See how get in the chat and just say hi. Tell me how you're doing. And we have a little bit of discussion that I'd like to share with everyone. And Algorithm, I definitely want to know what your opinion is in that regard. So let's get right to it. It's time to toast the national days. So let me get my official toasting thing going here. There we go. Let's go toast the national days. And today, let me see, where are my toasting notes? Here they go. All right, by the way, these national days are courtesy of nationaldaycalendar.com. National Day Calendar is Marlo Anderson's site. He is the CEO and curator of these national days. Marlo, I appreciate it. The use of your national days. I think it's supposed to be everybody's national days, right? But the thing is, he still has not put together a National Drink with Rick Day. We need to start a campaign on that, don't we? Maybe not. Nah. I'm not that important. No, I don't think we need that. Anyway, today, for the national days, today is National Hand Roll Day. That's right, today is National Hand Roll Day. And I had to look that up because I really didn't know what that meant until I looked it up, and then I realized, oh, it has to do with rolls, like sushi rolls and things like that. National Hand Roll Day. I don't know why. And it's actually founded in 2019 by National Day Calendar and the Sushi Nozawa Group. Okay. Here's a National Hand Roll Day. It's also National Hop a Park Day. First Saturday in July is National Hop a Park Day. Now, I have a little short story about that. I do, as I often do. National Hop a Park Day. Now, people that go park hopping, okay? Now, when I think of park hopping, what do you think when you think of park hopping? Going from one public national park to another? You might think that. And I'm not sure how it's meant in this context, but when I think of park hopping, because I used to work in Disney, I worked at Disney for 9 years, way back when I was much younger. Back in Orlando, Florida, I worked at Walt Disney World. And they, of course, Disney has several parks there. And aside from the Disney parks, there are other parks there. You have Universal and SeaWorld and all kinds of cool stuff there. When I worked at Disney, and of course, Disney has, or they have had, I don't know if they still do it anymore because I haven't been there for a while, but they had a park hopping pass where you could purchase one pass and then hop across the different parks, go from, to Magic Kingdom to Epcot to, back and forth to the various different parks. And I used to do that without one. Now, I worked there, so I had a pass so I could get myself and a few other people in, like family members and whatever, in for free on my days off. And I wasn't working there. Oftentimes I'd go in and bring a few of my friends or family members or relatives or something and take them in the park for the day, which I did quite a bit. But, and I could hop from park to park because it was good pretty much in all the parks at Disney. The thing is that one time I went there and I had more people with me than I could get in on my pass. So when we were hopping between the different parks, I would wind up having to work out something where I could go in the park with a few people, come back out, maybe go back in with a couple more people, or in the case of one particular instance, and I'm not going to name names or say when or how or how we did it, but because I knew where things, how to get into the park and out of the park and the employee areas and stuff like that, there were a couple of times when, there's one in particular where I helped an extra person get in who was in my party that I didn't have enough passes for to get in. And he wound up kind of sneaking in, which in a very interesting way. He did it. It was kind of comical how he did it, but they eventually got wise to that sort of thing, and I think they closed up all of that. So it's much more difficult to do that now than it was back in the day. But this was, look, the statute of limitations have run out on this. Okay. And this was back when I was a young kid, and we did a lot of dumb things when I was a kid. Young kid. I was about 20, 21 maybe. But anyway, that was back in the day when it wasn't quite as restrictive as it is now, from what I hear. My lovely wife Cheese in the chat on YouTube, and she says hi, and right back at you. Hi, it's great to see you here, and as always. And let me see. Oh, did we toast the park hopping day? All right, let's toast National Park Hopping Day. Here's National Hop a Park Day. I will drink to that. All right, now we have, of course, first Saturday of every month is National Play Outside Day. So it's important to note that first Saturday of every month, National Play Outside Day. I hope everyone is aware of that. So of course, Saturday's pretty much over, I think, for most everybody, but it's you can still go play outside. I heard people playing outside earlier today and shooting off fireworks and all that sort of thing. So that was a good day for it until it started storming over here. Here's a National Play Outside Day. I'll drink to that. Now we have a fun National Day coming up. Did you know that today? I had no idea. But, well, I think we've hosted it before, as a matter of fact, so maybe I did have an idea. I didn't know it was today, but today, let me see if I'm prepared for this. Today is National, no, it's not that. That's the wrong one. Today is National Fried Chicken Day. That's right. Today is National Fried Chicken Day. And in honor of National Fried Chicken, who doesn't like fried chicken? I don't know of anyone who does not love fried chicken, especially when it's made really well. But in honor of National Fried Chicken Day, I have photos of some fried chicken. There you go. Lots of photos. There's 1, 2, 3 pieces of chicken. It gets better. It does. It gets better. Chicken patties. I love chicken patties. I've got a story about chicken patties. When my kids were in grade school, when they were in 4th and 5th grade, and yeah, okay, it's not that funny yet. I haven't said anything yet. When my kids were in grade school, I would go down there on Tuesdays because it would allow you to, the parents, to have lunch with the kids in the lunchroom in the cafeteria on Tuesdays. So I made a point when I wasn't working that day, or when I was not working on the morning shift, to go down there and have lunch with them on Tuesdays. And the specific reason that I went down there, well, of course I went down there to see my kids and to have lunch with them. Of course I did. But there was one thing that I wanted to have when I was down there in the cafeteria, in the kids' cafeteria. I know you're going to think this is gross, but because most people think of school lunches and cafeterias as being really disgusting, but there was one thing that I really enjoyed in that cafeteria, and it was cheap because it was on a school lunch program, were chicken patties. Yes, that's right. I used to love to eat the chicken patties that they served, because it had the chicken patty sandwiches, and I really enjoyed those. And I would go down there. I made a point on every Tuesday, because Tuesday was chicken patty day, and I would go down there and have a cheap chicken patty for lunch with my kids. And they oftentimes they didn't even like the chicken. Sometimes they didn't even eat the chicken patties, and sometimes they even brought their own lunch, I think. But I made a point of going down there just to eat chicken patties from the school lunch room. So there you go. That's National Chicken Patty Day. But that's not all. I mean, here's one of my favorite pictures of fried chicken. Well, doesn't that look great? Doesn't that look absolutely fantastic? Nothing like a plate of fried chicken. That's in my opinion, that's fried chicken. And my lovely wife, she makes great fried chicken. So there you go. So in honor of Fried Chicken Day, here is to National Fried Chicken Day. I'll drink to that. The National Fried Chicken Day. All right. I'll drink to it again, too, just because I can. It's National Fried Chicken Day. Also, July 7th. That's tomorrow. It'll be today and 1 hour and 12 minutes. July 7th is Sunday, 2024. National Koi Day. That's right. Sunday is actually National Koi Day. Now, koi, K-O-I, not being coy, like C-O-Y. C-O-Y is being coy, when you're being that's being coy. This is and I don't think koi are that coy, if you know what I mean. I really don't think koi are that coy, but really. And okay, quiet, Bill. It wasn't that funny. Okay, but right, Bill. Get back to your bottle. So, koi fish, K-O-I fish. They have their own national day for koi fish. And as a matter of fact, my lovely wife Chi and I were at Kabuto Japanese Steakhouse in Charlotte last night having hibachi. And what's really cool is they have, and I don't have any pictures to show you of that, but they have a little bridge that goes from the lobby area to the dining area. There's this little bridge, and they have a pond there in the middle. It's all indoors, and they have a little pond full of koi, and they're swimming around and everything like that. And it's kind of neat to walk back and forth on the bridge and just watch the koi, look at them and all that. Those fish get to be a fair size, the koi. If you've never seen koi, you don't know that much about them, but and they're different colors. It's the one I showed in the picture just now in the photo. These are koi. I believe they kind of look like catfish. It could be catfish. I don't know. I was told this picture was of koi. They look like koi, but they could be catfish for all I know. So there you go. There you go. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Oh, well. Anyway, if they're not, I don't know. I'm pretty sure they are. They look like koi to me. Anyway, here is to National Koi Day. I will drink to that. By the way, Marlo, and this is directed to you, why is it that a fish can have a national day and I can't? That's what I want to know. And then I say that with all due respect. But if a fish can have a national day, so can I, okay? All right. Today is also the National Day of Rock and Roll. Yes, today is the National Day of Rock and Roll. I told you this wine's easy to drink. The National Day of Rock and Roll, I will definitely drink that. I can't play any rock and roll for you right now, and not without getting into trouble with the various copyright authorities and watchdogs out there. And by the way, I know someone who worked for one of those organizations for many years. I don't know if he's still working for him or not. I think he is. Anyway, here's to I try to keep my nose clean as much as I can. Here's a National Day of Rock and Roll. I will drink to that. And it's also National Dive Bar Day. Dive Bar Day. I've been in a few dives. Dive bar. Bars that are kind of dives, ratty bars. Not very many, but a few. I didn't like them too much, but National Dive Bar Day, whatever. Also, today. Not today. It's Sunday. Excuse me. Because not today yet, it's only July 6, 2024, for another hour and 7 minutes, but it will soon be July 7th, which means that then it will be National Macaroni Day. That's right, National Macaroni Day, and I had a picture of macaroni, and what did I do with it? Well, it's right here. Here's a picture of some macaroni. So there you go, for National Macaroni Day. There is some macaroni.
There you go.
For Macaroni Day. So I hope everybody enjoys Macaroni Day. And it has some macaroni. Here's the National Macaroni Day. Now, July 7th is also National Father-Daughter Take a Walk Day. And I think that's a great idea. And I think I would like very much to invite my daughter, Tia, to take a walk. Maybe we could walk the dog together tomorrow. The only thing is that I can't seem to walk very far these days. I have kind of a bum leg for a little bit. So, I'd like very much to do that if my daughter's up to that. And National Father-Daughter Take a Walk Day, I think that's a great idea. All of you who are fathers and daughters, I think it's a great idea. You don't know how long you're going to have your father. You don't know how long you're going to have your daughter. Make the most of that time together and go take a walk. National Father-Daughter Take a Walk Day. I will drink to that. Appreciate the time that you have on this earth together. We have one more National Day to Toast. And it's, I showed pictures of macaroni already. Today is, where's my drum roll? It is National Strawberry Sundae Day. National Strawberry Sundae Day. That's right. It is. Sunday is National Strawberry Sundae Day. And I think that that's a good time to go. This doesn't look like the sundae that I used to make, but it's National Strawberry Sundae Day. That looks pretty good, though. That doesn't look like proper strawberry sundae, but I threw it in there because it looks pretty neat. It looks really tasty, and I wouldn't mind trying one of those if I couldn't get an actual strawberry sundae. But here you go. Here's a proper strawberry sundae. National Strawberry Sundae Day. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, one of my jobs at Walt Disney World was I used to make sundaes. I didn't make strawberry sundaes unless it was a special order, but we had hot fudge sundaes. I used to make a lot of those, and scoop ice cream cones, and made a lot of nice sundae dishes and things like that out of ice cream. So that was one of the things. That was one of the jobs that I did when I worked at Walt Disney World. Not the only job. That was one I started off doing when I was first hired back in the day. Anyway, here is to National Strawberry Sundae Day. And here we go. We'll toast that properly. National Strawberry Sundae Day. I will drink to that. All right. And with that, I think that will do it for the National Days. Once again, this is what we are drinking. We're drinking NDP. This is a French wine, a wine from France. This is a French blend. I have no idea what's in this blend. I really don't. But I'm liking it so far. It's pretty good, and it's a very, very easy drinking wine. Surprisingly easy to drink, but it's also not very tannic. It's not very bold at all. It's actually fairly light for drinking. Some strawberry, a lot of strawberry and some cherry in it, and a little bit of hint of plum, I would say. It's not oaky or anything like that I could tell. It's actually pretty light drinking wine. So I'm liking it a lot. I'm liking it. So that's good. I'll give you my final review at the end of the show. But let's get back to the chats first, because I was missing the chats a little bit. My good friend Ed is in the chat. Ed, it's great to see you as always, and I want to give Ed a shout out here for my good friend Ed. Thank you for being here. And Ed says, "Hi Rick, just got here," and Ed says Tower Sunday 2. That's right, Tower Sunday 2. Exactly. When we worked, now Ed and I worked together at one point at the Board and Cone Shop at Walt Disney World, and this was in the Walt Disney World Village. What at the time was the Walt Disney World Village. I have no idea what it's called. They've changed the name so many times, and they've changed the area so many times. Last time I was there was a few years ago, and I think they were redoing it again. But when Ed and I were working there, that's one of the things that we did was we made the ice cream cones, and then we worked in the Veranda restaurant next door. It was attached to the Cone Shop, the Veranda restaurant and ice cream pavilion. And it was a restaurant. You can go and have some really nice dishes there. And also, you could have some great sundaes and ice cream sundaes, shakes, and things like that. And Ed and I, that's one of the things that we did, was we made a lot of the sundaes there. And a funny story about that, actually, because Ed mentioned the Tower Sundae. And what the Tower Sundae was, the actual name of it was the Captain's Tower. And by the way, Algorithm says, gotta go, take care. Algorithm, it's great to see you. Thank you for being here. And I really, really hope you're feeling better, my friend. Please get some rest, and hopefully you're back here next week. And let me know how you're doing, okay? I hope you can get over that flu really, really quick. That's not fun to have. Had the flu. It's not fun to have, definitely. So what Ed and I did, we made these sundaes at Walt Disney World, and one of the sundaes that we made, there was one that we actually made it in one of the salad bowls. We had these green plastic salad bowls that they served the Caesar salads in at the Veranda restaurant. But one of the things we do is we take the salad bowls and we would make what was called the Captain's Tower Sundae. The Captain's Tower Sundae was named after the centerpiece of what was at the time the Walt Disney World Village, which was called the Captain's Tower. And this was sort of a place that sat in the middle of the area, the village. And it was this area, people go, they usually had shops and outdoor shops going on there. They had certain events that they would perform certain events and specials there under the Captain's Tower. It was this big tower, but it was an open area. It was like it was just like this big open area with the tower. It was. So anyway, as a matter of fact, they had, when Star Wars, I think, came out, they had this thing going on for one weekend at Disney where they had Darth Vader show up, and he was signing autographs, and he was doing, they were giving away a lot of not giving away, they never give away anything there at Disney. They were selling a lot of Star Wars merchandise there under the Captain's Tower, and they were putting on some shows, and they had Darth Vader there and that sort of thing. I don't know if it's a real Darth Vader. It was a guy in a Darth Vader suit, okay? So, and this was years and years ago. It was back in 1978, I think, is when they did this one. And I went there on one day. I think it was my day off. I went there, or maybe I was working that day, but I just happened to bring my Super 8 camera with me, and I shot some Super 8 film of this event. And I'm glad you reminded me, because that's a reel of film that I have down here that what I really need to do is get that transferred. I have not transferred that one yet. Maybe one of these days I can transfer it and I can show it to you. It was pretty interesting. But I shot some film there. Anyway, where was it going with this? Okay, so that was the Captain's Tower. It was this kind of tower. It had this little looked like a hat kind of hut there, and then it had this big towering thing up on top of it. So Ed says Veranda Pavilion Ice Cream Bar and Restaurant. Exactly, that's what it was. The Veranda Pavilion Ice Cream Bar and Restaurant. And thank you, Ed. Where was I? Oh, yes. So this Captain's Tower Sundae, the original one, and when Ed was still working, because Ed went on to go work at the bookshop, and later on, but I was kind of still working the ice cream pavilion for a while. So originally, this Captain's Tower Sundae, basically, it really didn't have a lot of form to it. What it was 8 scoops of ice cream. You would put 2 scoops of vanilla, 2 scoops of chocolate, 2 scoops of strawberry, and then 2 scoops of, I don't remember what the other one was. But then you would have, you would put everything on it. You would put the strawberry syrup, the chocolate syrup, the pineapple syrup on it, all over it. These scoops that would just sit there in the bowl. And then you would just take whipped cream all the way around it. Just all this whipped cream, until it looked like a mound of whipped cream is basically what you did. And then you threw nuts on it, and you had walnuts, and we had almonds and all kinds of fun stuff on there. And that's how it was served. It was a big monstrosity. I think it was originally made for 2 people, but I do recall one time when one person ordered one and he ate the whole thing by himself. That was something. We had one patron come in and he ordered one and he ate the entire thing by himself. That was a pretty big deal. Ed says Darth stared everybody down. Yeah, it did. It was pretty tall. Anyway, so I was making these things, and Ed, I don't know if you remember this part because I think by that time you'd left to go to the bookstore, but I was still there in the ice cream parlor part, and I was getting pretty sick of looking at this thing called a Captain's Tower. It was basically just a mound of it just looked like a shapeless mound of whipped cream and stuff. And I think, what, I'm going to remake it. It was not authorized by anybody, okay? I just said, I'm going to remake this thing. So what I did was I took the Captain's Tower and I put the 4 scoops on the bottom to kind of stabilize it, and then I put 2 scoops of ice cream on top of that, and then another couple of scoops on top of that to make it look like a real tower. And then what I did was I took the banana. I forgot about the bananas. So they have bananas in there too. Anyway, I took the bananas and I cut them up to 2 bananas cut in half, and then I cut them in half and cut them in quarters, and I set the quarters around this thing and up on the top to stabilize the two ice cream, the balls of ice cream that were on top. And then I would take the whipped cream and go around this thing and then put the nuts on top of that. So when it was done, it actually had some semblance of the actual Captain's Tower. It kind of looked like the Captain's Tower with the structure and everything. And my supervisors kind of tolerated it. They didn't think too much about it. I was like, let him do his thing. But the people there seemed to like it, so I just kept doing it until I left. I don't know if they kept it up or anything, but it was just something that I did because I felt like, this needs something. It doesn't look like Captain's Tower. It looks like a mound of blob, and it just looks like a blob. So, that's what I did with it. Anyway, so I digress. Where was I going with this? I don't remember. Are we done with the national days? Yeah, I think we are, aren't we? Yes. Oh, no, we're not. Strawberry Sundae Day. Okay. I went way off the beaten path on that. So here is, where's my strawberry sundae? There we go. That's a nice, simple strawberry sundae. So anyway, here is to National Strawberry Sundae Day. National Strawberry Sundae Day. I will drink to that. I think that'll do it for the national days, right? All right, and Ed, I hope you're doing well. Oh, by the way, Ed, did you receive your package yet? Because I got a notification that it arrived today. I sent Ed a package, and one of them, one item in particular, was the Drink with Rick cider tasting notebook. That wasn't the only thing in the package, by the way, but that was included in there. But I sent it to your address there, and hopefully you got it. And if you haven't gotten it yet, you should get it soon, because I was told that it arrived today. So just to let you know, it should be there. All right, everybody else doing fine online. I don't think Kick is doing anything. Yeah, we're getting ready to get rid of Kick. And all right, so here's my question for tonight. And that's what we're going to talk about a little bit, because I think we got to there, right? All right, so I've been, during the holidays, I gave my son a turntable, a phonograph, because he expressed an interest in record albums. He started collecting some. And we have a phonograph here. Yes, we actually have a phonograph. And for those of you who don't know what a phonograph is, I'll explain in a minute. Let me get rid of the... there we go. So I gave him, for the holidays, I gave him a turntable. And he's been buying up a bunch of records and things like that. He's given me a couple as gifts, actually. And it's interesting because I was thinking to myself, like a year earlier, I was thinking, well, it looks like records are making a bit of a comeback. Phonograph records, vinyl records. And since my son had taken an interest in purchasing some vinyl records and starting to collect them, and he likes to listen to them, and he really likes the sound, and he actually went out and bought some nice speakers to go with his phonograph, his turntable. And I got to thinking about it recently, and I was thinking, I wonder if vinyl records really are making a comeback. I heard some things about it, and I keep up with a couple of these YouTubers out there that do the retro thing, the retro gaming and the 8-bit games and stuff, and the retro audiophile stuff like reel-to-reel audio and vinyl and things like that, CDs. And I started doing a little bit more research and saying, okay, is maybe some of this coming back? And I've been hearing a lot of things about a possible resurgence in this. And today, as a matter of fact, yesterday and today, I was looking at some videos, and I was watching one in particular from a lady who is a songwriter and a musician that she started distributing her albums on cassettes, on audio cassettes. And she was saying that this audio cassettes are making a big comeback. Vinyl records are making a big comeback. CDs are starting to make a comeback. And believe it or not, so are DVDs. And I was kind of laughed. Here's the thing. I went to Podfest. Tommy and I went to Podfest a couple of years ago, and 1 year, and we were promoting our podcast. As a promotional gimmick, we were putting an episode on CDs, audio CDs, and passing them out. And people thought that was kind of a cool novelty, a cute novelty, like an oversized business card. But people were saying, well, that's kind of passé because nobody listens to CD anymore. Lo and behold, a few years later, after the pandemic, people are starting to listen to CDs again, from what I hear. Now, see what I did there. But I did a little checking around, and even though that the numbers, and there have been a number of articles that have been posted in the past 4 months. In fact, I was reading one from March, and there was one from April, and I think the latest one that I saw was from May of this year, talking about how, well, year over year, sales of CDs and that have been dropping dramatically, and DVDs too. However, what's a very interesting thing is that sales of vinyl records are starting to pick up again. Sales of CDs are leveling off and starting to pick up again. And interestingly enough, cassettes are starting to pick up again. They're still selling cassettes, and that's how you tell is that you're looking out on the market, and there are niche areas where they are selling cassettes, vinyl, and vinyl records and DVDs. The DVDs are starting to make a bit of a comeback, and CDs. So what's starting this trend? Now, what I wanted to ask you, first of all, was do you listen? Are you still listening to anything on CD? Or are you still watching anything on DVD? Or have you looked at vinyl records? And for those of you who are not familiar with, I have samples of each here. I have some vinyl records here that go way back. I've got a Weird Al album here, and I've got which is an older record, goes way back. But I have this one's fairly recent, The Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 2. album. You know, this one's a double album, and it's this. My son gave this to me for the holidays, and I've listened to it, and it's very good. So you know, the Guardians from the movie soundtrack from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and that's fairly recent. That's not an old album like the Weird Al album is. This is a fairly recently released album. Also, I've noticed that there are still DVDs for sale out there for new movies. CDs. I had some CDs up here. I don't know what I do with them. But there was one that somebody recommended to me. I was in a estate sale, and somebody recommended this one to me, and they were selling the CDs, and I picked this one up for like $0.25 because it was an estate sale. But apparently, you know, CDs are still selling for lots more than that. Also, this is something else that I picked up, which I was pretty excited about. The same estate sale. The entire collection of Firefly. For those of you who know what Firefly is, that's the Joss Whedon sci-fi series that only lasted 1 year, but it was well received series and one of my favorite sci-fi shows. And I've got the entire collection right here that I picked up, and I think I paid like $10 for it, if that, because I got an estate sale. But the thing is that there are people still collecting these. I'm still collecting them. I'm still watching these things on DVD. I also have a cassette here, and for those of you who don't know what cassettes are, this is a cassette tape. These are really cool. This is old technology. This is technology from the late 60s, early 70s that actually really is still pretty cool technology. And that's one of the reasons why it's making a comeback, is because it's a really cool piece of technology. We're talking about little, you know, there are actually 4 tracks on here. It's a stereo cassette tape, but there's two tracks on each side. You play it on one side, and when it's done on one side, you flip it over, play it on the other side. So it's actually a tiny 4-track tape, which is pretty amazing. Amazing technology for the time. And the artwork is great. This one in particular is one that's a prized possession of mine because it's from the Generators. Now, it's not the Generators that some people may be familiar with, but this is from a group called the Generators that came before them. That my good friend Pete Moltak, who is no longer with us, was the lead guitarist and singer for this group. And he passed away before they could really get signed on anywhere. But they made several albums on cassette and on vinyl records. So great music, by the way. But this is the type of media that I'm talking about. So I want to know whether anybody is still using cassettes. Ed says, now Ed is one who is very familiar with all of this technology. Ed says, first of all, let me know when 8-tracks come back. Let me know when 8-tracks come back. Okay, so I missed a couple things that what Ed says here, but let me go back just a little bit because Ed was going back to I got talking and I forgot to check the chats. So Ed says about the Captain's Tower ice cream dish. Ed says you could dish it out, but you couldn't take it, so you changed the way you dished it out. Yes, that's true. I did. So, and I did. I don't know why the guy's not laughing here, but yeah, you're laughing, Bill. I know you are, but. Okay, where's my... I had another laugh in here, but it didn't kick in for some reason. I need a producer. All right, so Ed says down here below that, he says, I didn't get it at home. Oh, he's talking about this package now. I didn't get it at home. I'm not staying there yet, but I have people watching my mailbox and the place I previously stayed. Stuff is getting lost, I think. Well, I hope this doesn't get lost because I sent you a couple of items I think you'll really enjoy. Ed says, let me know when 8-tracks come back. Yes, I will. Yeah, I definitely. The 8-tracks are, I don't know, 8-tracks. You know, when I worked in television, we had, even though 8-tracks had long died since then, and for those who don't know what 8-track tapes are, I don't have one to show you here. I don't have any of them here now. They're long gone. But in the TV business, for a long time, we used a cart system, an audio cart system, for audio voiceovers and things like that. And we used a 4-track system. It was not 8-track tape. It was 4-track tape, but it was a 4-track system that was basically 8-track tapes. It's basically the same system. It's just with 4-track tape in it. And that's what we used for our audio carts. And I cut many audio carts. I cut many voiceovers on that system. This was back in the late 80s, early 90s. I think we quit using it around 1994. Well, they were still using it at WFL when I left. But when I started working at WRBW, we had switched over to using a digital system. It was what we were cutting our voiceovers on, that voiceover tracks for television then. When 8-tracks come back, you never know. They might. I don't know, because I think the quality of 8-tracks were really not up to par with the cassette tapes. I think that they took the 8-tracks to a certain point as far as development, and then they just kind of quit messing around with it. Whereas with cassette tapes, they did all kinds of things. They did all these metal tapes and these Dolby tapes and Dolby Digital and all kinds of fun stuff with the cassettes that they really didn't do with the 8-tracks. I really don't know if the 8-tracks will ever come back, but if they do, that would be very, very interesting. Old would be new again, I would say. Ed says, I watch DVDs and listen to CDs, and there you go, because that's I still do that from time to time myself. So there you go. And I didn't have anything for that, but it's good. Yeah, I do the same thing. I guess we're all just really old school, or just old. I guess we're just old. That guy's laughing. Anyway, it says Serenity movie tried to tie up loose ends of Firefly. Yes, it did. As a matter of fact, I think the Serenity movie is included with this package. I think they included it in there. And it's kind of sad the way they did that. But you know what I've heard, though? I've heard that Joss Whedon, they've been talking about actually reviving Firefly. So that would be interesting if they ever actually do that. Let me go back to here. Check some of the other chats out here just to make sure. But I think we're good there. Okay, Worldwide Ghost says, "Channel, hey, hey Rick, Worldwide Ghost, I missed that. I'm sorry. The Worldwide Ghost is great to see here, by the way. Worldwide Ghost says the Pope of Greenwich Village was a great movie, and he says nice Sunday, and he also says, I've subbed as well. Well, thank you, Worldwide Ghost. Appreciate it. By the way, Worldwide Ghost, I want to say, you have vinyl. Okay, Worldwide Ghost says, I have vinyl and love it. And he says, yeah, MP3 is finished. Okay, there's some thoughts on this, and this is what I was going to get to. This is why I was going to bring this up, is because I think that we've reached a plateau on this. And by the way, Worldwide Ghost, thank you for being here, and there is something else I want to do. Do you have a copy of the official Drink with Rick wine tasting notebook? If you don't, what did I just do with my copy? Here it is. It's right here. If you don't, I'll send you one free. Thanks for jumping in the chats. I'll send you one free. All you need to do is just send your, where's it? Oh, here it is, right here. Just send in a valid shipping address to rick@savoymedia.com, rick@savoymedia.com, and I'll send you a free copy as long as you're in the States. I mean, if you're outside the U.S., it's tough for me to send it to you, but I'll see what I can do. But especially if you're in the U.S., send in your valid shipping address. It can be P.O. Box or whatever. I can ship to a P.O. Box. That's not a problem. To rick@savoymedia.com, and I'll send you a free copy of Drink with Rick, the official Drink with Rick wine tasting notebook. Thanks for being here, by the way. Where was I? Okay, so as Worldwide Ghost was saying, MP3 is finished. Well, here's the thing. I think that's where we're going with this a little bit. Because when I got to looking at how vinyl is making a comeback and how cassettes are making comebacks and things like that, one of the things that's been bothering me for quite a while, and I think it's starting to bother a lot of people, and I think there are several factors for this, is the fact that we are all stuck in digital media land, where everything is digital media, like this live stream. Everything is stuck in digital media land right now, where it's virtual. It's not something that you can have, and that you can hold, and that you can touch. That does have its advantages in the fact that, well, you know what, I can carry my music with me anywhere, I can watch my videos anywhere, I can take my movies anywhere, and all I have to do is I can just do it on my phone, MP3 player back in the day, but nowadays on my phone or whatever, and on my tablet, and just go anywhere I want and just pop it up and listen to whatever I want to listen or watch whatever I want to watch. I get on my TV, my smart TV, and just pop up Netflix or something like that and watch whatever I want to watch on Netflix or on Amazon or whatever you want to watch it on. But there is a drawback to this, a really, really big drawback to this. A couple of them actually, but the one I want to focus on tonight, and we can do this in a couple of parts. I'm not going to be able to get all through this tonight, but there is one major drawback that's always bothered me with this, is that, okay, so you can buy your music, you drop down 99 cents for a track or whatever it is, or you can buy a block of music, or you can, what's really popular now apparently is to go on Spotify and you can subscribe to the music. You can subscribe to the music tracks or to the type of music you want to listen to. And so it's subscription based. So you pay a little bit per month, or you can buy them like on iTunes or Apple, Apple system, and you can pay a certain amount of money for a track, and you've got it, and you can download it if you want to your local machine and that sort of thing. And there are some caveats to that, and I'm not going to go into that tonight. We can do that in another part. But here's the big drawback. Let's say, for instance, that you have a music collection or a movie collection or anything like that you've paid for, been nickel and dime for, whatever, that you subscribe to, that sort of thing, from whatever platform you've been buying it from or subscribing to it from. And let's say, for instance, that platform, and it could go a couple of ways. We'll try one here first. Let's say, for instance, that platform decides that, you know what, we're going to move that library and we're going to take some of these tracks off that library and introduce some new ones. And those tracks, we're going to put them on a moratorium maybe, or just take them off altogether, and they're no longer going to be available because we're going to have all these new tracks. Or another scenario, let's say, for instance, that platform goes out of business, kaput, and you don't have that music available to you anymore, period. Let's say, for instance, and I'm not going to say Spotify or whatever, but we've had platforms like that have done that, where they say, okay, you buy this music from us, and you're going to have it forever. It's going to be available to you forever. And then one day forever comes and it's not forever anymore. You know what I mean? It's the day comes where it's gone, the music's gone. Bye-bye Miss American Pie, that sort of thing for that platform. That's the day the music died for you. And all that money that you spent buying music from that platform, it's for naught because you don't have access to that music anymore. And this has happened already. This has happened on a couple platforms, but more so, you go to some of these other platforms where they say, okay, we're going to have a moratorium on this music for a while. We're going to shelve this and move this over to this. All of a sudden, they're moving things around for you for the music that you purchased on that platform, and you can't get to it. So that's the big drawback to that sort of a model, of a purchasing model for media. So that's why some people are going back and they're saying, hey, you know what? I don't want to do that anymore. I want something that I can hold physically, that I know that if I purchase it, I own it. Now, technically, you don't own it. You own the media that's sitting on, but you don't own the track itself because it's copyrighted. But technically, you own that piece of media it's on. It's yours. It's physical media. You can touch it. You can hold it. You can smell it. You can taste. Well, I wouldn't go that far. But look, you can have and to hold till death do you part, and it's yours. It's yours pretty much forever, right? As long as forever is going to last for you. So you've got this, and you can play it whenever you want. You can go, wherever you want. Nobody's telling you when you can't and can't access it, because I tell you what, here's what happens when you're accessing things in the cloud. It's stored in the cloud. And let's say, for instance, that you don't have access to the cloud at any particular time. Let's say, for instance, that you lose your internet access for one reason or another. Maybe on your phone, your phone's died. You can't access it over the cloud. Let's say, for instance, that you didn't pay your phone bill 1 month or your internet bill 1 month, and you don't have access to the internet or to call anyone on your phone. Let's say, for instance, that a storm comes along and takes out the internet or takes down the cell tower, and you can't access the phone. Now, if you've got a big enough storm like that, then you've got bigger problems. So you probably not time to listen to music. It's really more time to listen to, the National Weather Service or something. But and that's why you need a weather radio, by the way. And that's a shameless plug for By Two-Way Radios, which is not a sponsor. I just work for the company. So I just had to throw that in. But let's say, for instance, one of these things happens, or more of these things happens altogether, and you are cut off from your music and from your movies and from all the things, all the media that you love to collect. What are you going to do? If you don't have it, it's in the cloud, it's virtual, it could be erased anytime, virtually in the cloud. It's not yours. You have no control over it. You have zero control over any of that. Whereas if you've got, say, a record album, a vinyl album, if you have a cassette, if you have a DVD or CD or a DVD like the Space Apes DVD that I've got here, another shameless plug for me. But if you have any of these things, you got it. It's yours, and it's something you can play anytime you want. You don't need internet access. You don't need a computer to connect online and pull it down from the cloud. You don't need Netflix. You don't need any of those things. You can watch it or view it, experience it anytime you want. You are in control. Not the big media companies, not the platforms, the big platforms. You are in control. I want to know what you think about this. please send me your comments here, because we're going to carry this into a part 2 of the show next week. I want to know what you think. Send your comments to me at rick at savoymedia.com, rick at savoymedia.com, and let me know what you think about this, what your thoughts are. Or if you haven't given that any thought before, but maybe you're giving some thought to it now, give me your thoughts on it. Let me know what you think. Because I think it's kind of a wake-up call for a lot of people. Tom Antio is in the chat on Twitch, and Tom Antio says, how's the grape juice? It's more than grape juice. It's fermented grape juice. It is wine, and it is actually pretty good. How are you doing, Tom Antio? By the way, Tom Antio has some albums. What are your thoughts on physical media as opposed to virtual media, Tom? What do you think? I want to know what your thoughts are on that. I think I know what your thoughts are on that. And the quality, by the way, the quality of virtual media is actually not as good most of the time. You know, there are a few drawbacks to this, but one of the other drawbacks, the quality of digital media is not necessarily as good as the quality that you get from these items. You know, from the cassettes, the DVDs, the albums, the vinyl record albums, which I didn't pull this out to show it to you, but this is a vinyl record. For those of you who are too young to know, this is a vinyl record. Very high quality, high fidelity record. And, you know, this is something that you really want to experience, because especially if you're having qualms about the future of all the live streaming and all the Netflixes and all that kind of stuff going on. This is an alternative. It's a viable alternative. So let me know what you think on that. So wine's pretty good. I'm going to I'm saying it's probably time to close up this stream, isn't it? I've been going on and on this rant. But Worldwide Ghosts, once again, you know what? As a matter of fact, I'll go. You say you still watch DVDs? Let's see. You have vinyl? You have vinyl and love it? Do you have a DVD player, Worldwide Ghosts? Do you have a DVD player? If you do, let me know, and I can send you a copy of Space Age from Ice Planet Alpha. This was originally shot on Super 8. It's the Super 8 feature film that was made by myself and my friends back in 1992, and it's back as a classic on DVD. And I can send you a copy of that as well. So I like to give away stuff. I do. Ed knows. Tom Antio knows. Anyway, so I want to know what you think. And, send in your comments to me. And we will continue this discussion next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. In the meantime, let me give you my final review on the wine. Let me have a final taste of the wine. It's actually getting better. It wasn't bad before. It was pretty good before. So here's the wine that we were drinking. Let me pull up the photos again. The wine that we're drinking is called NDP. NDP, this is a red blend from France. This wine is very interesting because I have no idea what the grapes were in this wine. I have no idea what grapes they were using, but it is from France, apparently. And it is 13.5% ABV, and it's doing pretty well so far. What I am getting from this wine, I'm getting strawberry and cherry in this wine. I'm getting a little bit of mix of plum. And actually, I think the plum is becoming a little more pronounced now. Yeah. Strawberry. Very much pronounced on the strawberry, cherry, plum. I think there's something else in there. I can't really identify what it is at the moment. But it's actually very good. Very fruity, as a matter of fact. It's medium. It's light on the tannin. I'm surprised. I expect to be a little heavier on the tannins. It's kind of a medium-bodied wine. It's not bold or anything like that. Has a nice medium finish. It does have a nice finish. It does linger a little bit, but it's a nice finish. It's a very smooth wine, and I want to say that it's not too acidic. It's not too anything. It's kind of medium on all of those fronts, but pretty decent wine. I like it. I think it goes pretty well with the beef, the ribs that we had. Well, it goes better with the cheese, actually. It went well with the cheeses that we tried. I think it would go good with a burger. I think it would go good with a number of different foods, a nice variety of foods. So I think overall it is a winner, and I would think that this would be the, I'd say I'd give this a nice round of applause. Actually, I'd take a little farther than that. I would think this is actually a hole in one.
Oh, there you go. Oh, wow, that's a good one.
So I would, I recommend that. It might go good with fried chicken too. It might go good with fried chicken. Who knows? I haven't tried it with fried chicken yet, but it might go okay with fried chicken. So you can try it and let me know if you buy $6.99 from Trader Joe's. And I think I'm going to go get another bottle of this pretty soon because I really like this wine. It's actually a pretty nice drinking wine. So that's my final review of the NDP. As far as the that chicken, I can't get rid of that chicken. Love that chicken. All right, enough chicken. Okay, Bill's out here waiting for his turn. All right, so I guess it's about time to go. I want to thank everybody for joining me here tonight on the show. I want to thank my good friend Ed for being here tonight, and I hope you're doing really well. Worldwide Ghost, thank you for being here as well. I appreciate your contributions to the show, and I'm sorry that I didn't. Somehow I missed. I was missing some of the chat in YouTube. I don't know how that happened, but I'm hopefully you're still there. And Worldwide Ghost says can't beat a Victrola, and you know what I I remember when I was a kid, my dad had one. You crank it up for a while, and you played the 78s on it, and I'm that old. But I remember that he had one in his garage that he was going to fix up. I don't think he ever got that far to fixing it up, but it was still fun to kind of play with, and it was very interesting. It's an interesting time, too. And I do have some 78s, by the way. I should have brought one up. I do have some 78 records. But thank you for being here, Worldwide Ghosts. I really appreciate you being here and your participation. And once again, I'm willing to send you a copy of the Space Apes DVD and a copy of the official Drink with Rick wine tasting notebook, and to just send in a valid shipping address to rick@savoymedia.com, and I'll get that out to you as soon as I can. And I don't do anything with that. I don't keep your addresses or anything. I don't do anything with that. It's just to ship everything out with. All right, I want to thank everyone else who is watching me on Rumble and on Odyssey and Kick and everywhere else we were on Twitch. Tom Antio, thank you for being here, and Algorithm as well. I hope you're feeling much, much better very, very soon, very quickly, my friend. I hope you're feeling better. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for being here with me. I do appreciate each and every one of you. And I know Bill's been waiting patiently over here with his bottle. Okay, it's time to bring out our friend, your friend and mine. This is Roadkill Bill, and yes, he has to have his introduction, don't you? Introduction. Good old Roadkill Bill. And Bill has a very special message for all of us, don't you? Yeah, you have a special message for all of us. And the message is, please don't drink and drive. Drink in the comfort of your home, your apartment, your hotel room, your dwelling, wherever you are. Don't drink and drive. If you have to go somewhere, go ahead, Bill. If you have to go somewhere, call an Uber, call a Lyft, call a cab, call a friend, or just stay put. It's better to just stay put. Think about others as well as yourself. Buzz driving is drunk driving, as they say. That's true. Even if you don't really feel it that much, just hand the keys over. It's just safer that way. Don't text and drive either, because that's also very, very dangerous. Please do not text and drive. I've seen too much of that. Because I want you to have a great week, and so does Bill. Yes. But most of all, I want you to have a safe week. So you can join me here again next week on the Saturday Night Wine Stream, and we can all get together and drink with Rick. Good night.